XRP token will be limited, and Ripple wishes to regulate SEC's control over cryptos. Want to know more? Watch till the end to know it all. Hey people, welcome back. In today's video, we will be looking at the latest updates on Ripple versus SEC and XRP limiting. But before we start, make sure to enable all your notifications to our channel to keep up with all the hottest secrets in the world of XRP.
What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!
Ripple Labs Inc., which is embroiled in a legal dispute with the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States, has an unexpected proposal for Washington policymakers: minimize the regulator's role in cryptocurrency regulation. In an interview, Stuart Alderoty, Ripple's general counsel, said the SEC's stance under the present administration has been antagonistic. Rather than creating clear guidelines, the EPA is doubling down on regulation by enforcement, he noted. Ripple is, first and foremost, centralized. The Ripple Consensus Ledger serves as a centralized record book for trust lines and IOUs. Here are some key details of Ripple Labs' XRP currency. Ripple Consensus Ledger's native token is XRP. It has a limited supply of 100 billion XRPs and will never be produced again. As XRPs are spent for each transaction, the total amount of XRPs will decrease over time. The public has been denied access to 80% of the XRP supply, which is held in escrow. Ripple is a bank-focused system built on a trust line consensus. A trust line is simply the amount you are prepared to trust another party with. For example, the funds in your bank account can be viewed as IOU tokens, and you now have a trust line with the bank of at least that amount. If you're only willing to put $10,000 in your bank's hands, then consider your trust line to be a $10,000 USD loan to your bank. And you'd never have any more money in your account than that. Ripple has been compared to a SWIFT alternative. Secondly, using XRP instead of wire transfers for international bank transfers will save banks billions of dollars every year. Instead of maintaining local currency in Nostro accounts around the world, banks or third-party market makers acting on their behalf can concentrate their liquidity for global payments into one XRP account, held on their own balance sheets, according to the Ripple team. Respondent banks may then devote less overall liquidity to handle the same volume of international payments in 3 ways thanks to this single XRP pool. In contrast to several expensive Nostro accounts around the world, they simply need to keep native currency and maintain one XRP account. Ripple will shortly establish an XRP incentive scheme to algorithmically refund market makers that supply liquidity through XRP in order to increase market thickness and reduce volatility for XRP. Finally, the market cap of Ripple is false. Limited supply is inauthentic. It is fully contrived, because Ripple is withholding a big percentage of its XRP cryptocurrency. This increases demand, which raises the price, inflating the market capitalization.
Smart.
Ripple accuses the Securities and Exchange Commission of picking virtual currency winners and losers in a court filing in March. The rebuke came in response to a complaint filed by the regulator against the embattled blockchain payments firm in December 2020, alleging that XRP, the digital asset created by Ripple's creators, was an unregulated security. XRP was the world's third largest cryptocurrency before the suit, after only Bitcoin and Ethereum. However, in the week after the SEC suit, XRP dropped 60% of its value as exchanges such as Coinbase delisted it. Meanwhile, Ripple asserted in its March filing that Bitcoin and Ethereum remained free from similar SEC oversight. In announcing its strategy to crypto regulation on Tuesday, Ripple may have purposefully or unconsciously set up a scenario that favors other regulators over the SEC. The philosophy is at its core: the idea that the current regulatory framework may be utilized to police the crypto realm was promoted by Ripple on Tuesday. We believe that framework, as modified to account for some of the unique characteristics inherent in cryptocurrencies, may deliver the clarity innovators desire and the market protections consumers deserve, Ripple wrote on its website on Tuesday. That contradicts a claim made by Coinbase in its own policy statement last month, claiming that the current structure allows too many regulators to expand their goals to include crypto. Coinbase, on the other hand, proposes the creation of a new regulatory body dedicated solely to digital assets.
It's digital.
Coinbase argued last month that laws created in the 1930s to permit efficient regulation of our financial system could not envisage this technological transformation. Forcing the complete range of digital assets into supervisory categories delineated prior to the adoption of computers risks suffocating the growth of this transformative technology. Ripple, on the other side, praised bills like the Digital Commodity Exchange Act, which seeks to define digital commodity exchanges and bring them under the jurisdiction of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. The Securities Clarity Act, which recommends that crypto goods be classified as investment contract assets rather than securities, was also highlighted by the corporation. This approach could serve to debunk the SEC's claim that certain crypto-related goods, such as interest-bearing accounts, are securities. In a statement, Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, stated that the steps proposed in its vision seek to bring legal certainty to business, markets, and consumers in a way that a regulation by enforcement strategy simply cannot. That could be interpreted as a not-so-subtle swipe at the SEC. Ripple isn't the only cryptocurrency company to accuse the regulator of following this trend. Coinbase CEO Brad Armstrong remarked in a September tweet, "Regulation by litigation should be the SEC's last resort, not the first," a day after the crypto exchange announced the SEC had threatened to sue if the business launched its interest-bearing product, Lend. 2 weeks later, Coinbase dropped the product.
What?
The desire for regulatory clarification and the argument that the SEC isn't providing it may be one of Coinbase and Ripple's sole commonalities. Of course, they aren't the only two corporations facing potential legal action from regulators. Bloomberg reported Wednesday that the SEC is looking into BlockFi's interest-bearing products, while the regulator has not accused the company of any wrongdoing. BlockFi was ordered to stop marketing the accounts to residents in New Jersey, Texas, and other states more than 3 months ago because the products aren't registered as securities. On its website, BlockFi states that it is in ongoing conversations with regulators. Armstrong accused the SEC of a land grab versus other regulators in September, claiming it was attempting to fill a regulatory void by refusing to offer any opinion in writing to the industry on what should be allowed and why, and instead engaging in intimidation tactics behind closed doors, while refusing to offer any opinion in writing to the industry on what should be allowed and why. Other aspects of Ripple's vision are included, such as the suggestion that authorities foster an innovation sandbox, similar to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
I see.
Under certain conditions, SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce has proposed a safe harbor framework under which innovators can launch goods and construct networks without having to comply with federal securities rules for a limited period. Ripple also emphasized the importance of public-private partnerships, which is similar to a structure outlined by the Eliminate Barriers to Innovation Act. Ripple does not completely eliminate the SEC in this case. The bill calls for the formation of a collaborative working group composed of SEC and CFTC officials, as well as representatives from fintechs, financial corporations, and small enterprises. Susan Friedman, Ripple's head of public policy, stated Tuesday that developing an effective policy framework for cryptocurrencies will only be achievable if there is a clear communication and collaboration between private and public players. These discussions have shaped our views on the regulatory clarity that the industry and broader ecosystem deserve from regulators, as well as the obligations that regulators should demand from the industry.
Oh, I get that.
With that being said, we have come to the end of the video. We also want to let you know that this video is purely for entertainment purposes and does not offer any financial advice. It is always best to do your wide-spectrum research before investing. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. See you again with another video. Until then, bye!